Okay, so this is a quick look at the death rig. Most of it's done, although it's a bit of a work in progress still, so there's some things still to be refined. But generally speaking, we're looking at very similar sort of setup to the devil rig. So we've got the head maneuvering around there, and we've got FK, IK arms. So that's IK there, and you move the arrow to control where you want the elbow to go. And if you want to have FK arms, you can just use the switcher at the top, and now she's got FK arms, like so. And it also goes back the other way. All you have to do is select the body part, switch, hit FK switch, and she goes back to IK mode. Right, then we've got the shoulder, which was giving us a bit of trouble before. It's not absolutely perfect, but there's no split, and that's the important part. So we can move this backwards and forwards as much as we want to get different results. Then she has her breast controls, which you can either use these, or what I would probably recommend for most situations would be these. Then let's see, we've got hair control, so we can move her hair around. You've got different parts going down there. Around the back of the hood, we've got two different ways to do the hood. There are the rotation controls, good for little bits of overlapping action and things, or you can do it with so like so, and that applies to this hood as well, so we can move that around. It just depends how much you want to move that. Then let's see, if we switch over here, switch on the face controls. These are pretty much the same as Devil. So if we zoom out, we've got the 0.2 control, which is where her eyes are going to look at all times. If I move this closer up to her and do a little experiment just to show her off, she also has limits on her eyes, so that you'll notice when it gets to the edge, one eye stops, so that it never the eyes don't roll back into her head at any point, and that's a useful feature. On top of this control, you can also use these arrows here and just add a little bit of independent control if you ever need it. So that's those. Snap this back to 0. Right, and so all the face controls very similar to before. You can move these around as you need to. Grab that, you can control her jaw. She also has glasses controls. By default I've switched them off, but if you switch them on, you'll get control over the glasses relative to the head. Now at the moment it's pivoting around the middle, but if you switch to different parts over here on the right, it will pivot from different parts of the animation of the glasses. So this should be the left end. Oh, that's interesting, it's not quite working. Okay, that's another area to be polished. But that's switched off by default, just because it can tend to get into the way when you're actually animating. Then let's see, what else have we got? All the usual face controls. And then we've got these controls here. Actually, first of all, we've got the box controls. So she's got syncing, so she can hit an E, a burst shape, an R, or an U. If you just hit one value on it, then you'll get a nice clean shape. Oh, -1 obviously not. There we go. Corners of the mouth control, as before, just the same as the devil. These are paired up to look as close to the devil as possible so that people get used to the way that they work. There we go. Same eye controls as well. So you move them up, they get wider, you move them down, they close, you move them left and it goes high, you move them right and it goes low. Then we've got eyebrow controls, up for straight up, down for straight down, left for angry, right for sympathetic, and of course these all control independently as well. Now on top of all of that, we also, if I zero all of that out for now, have facial shapes that we can just snap in quickly, like this. I'm still working on how to structure the facial shapes so that they're easier to animate with, because the trick is you sometimes need to overlap some controls with others, and so I'm working out that still. But that's the general gist of it, and you can always go back to default by just hitting the defaults on each section of the face. At the moment what I've done is I've put B represents the brow, E represents the eyes, M represents the mouth, and if you've seen 2 letters or face, well, 2 letters means brow and eye controls are being animated, and F just means, well, everything, the whole face. And if you right click on these poses, you're supposed to be able to create a symmetry of it, so like that. Anyway, here you go. If you need to switch off all the controls, there's a visibility control here to make the body all go away. If you need to switch off the face, that one switches off the face. Then on top of that, there's also going to be, if I switch the body controls back on again, what you want is a nice quick way of selecting all the body controls, for example, so that you can quickly set keys. So I'm going to have a button somewhere, and at the moment I've put it on my shelf, but that may go somewhere else. So if I hit that button, I get all the controls so that I can set keys on the whole body all at once. Makes that nice and easy. Other than that, it's all kind of the same as Devil, so we can move her hips around, or we can rotate these parts as we need to. And everything else is pretty logical. I mean, she's got a neck control as well, so that we can move her neck around. I think those are all the main points. Thank you.